I'm so pleased and happy. Congratulations to each and every one of you. All right. So, can you imagine it seems like they keep changing this thing every year, right? I mean, I used to remember when daylight savings time started in April, and now it starts in middle of March. Can you imagine? Anyway, for those of us who love to see the sunshine and the daylight and don't like the darkness, we are in our element.
Yep.
Okay, so Mike, let's get
Very
started.
good.
Good morning.
Yes. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. And I want to thank you for joining us in the spirit of perfect harmony. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. We study and practice the philosophy and science of the mind we know as God. And with our spiritual presence this morning, we create a higher state of consciousness, rise above any negative energy we may have experienced this past week, and manifest love. Love we know is synonymous to God, which is the most powerful yet most gentle force in the universe. At this time, our Reverend Dr. Sandra Jackson will proceed with our service. Reverend?
Okay, thank you so very much, Mike. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, once again. And let us just begin by affirming and knowing and allowing ourselves to be totally inculcated with the truth. And let's just close our eyes so that we can tune out the outer world and turn totally and completely within. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth and relax into this moment. And it is in this presence that we feel and know and experience the truth of who we are. It is in this space, in this place of knowingness, that there is only one life, one spirit, one God, one beingness. And it is right here, right now, expressing itself in, through, and as each and every one of us. It is life itself being expressed anew in this moment, because life is always anew. It is always new. Every single moment, life is new. And it is new as it breathes in us and through us and as us. It is this life that right here and right now, we just simply allow ourselves to be so completely grateful for. Our hearts, our minds are open with deep gratitude and thanksgiving that we are in this moment, that we are alive, that we are well, that we are healthy, that we are whole, that we are fully and completely involved with in allowing the spirit to flow in us and through us and as us, blessing us in ways that we don't even realize we are being blessed in this moment. And so we open our hearts and minds today to just fully and completely accept this word, to accept the truth that is moving in us and through us and as us, to be open and receptive to hear what it is we are here to hear this day, to be available to the Spirit speaking in us and through us and as us. And so it is with gratitude that I release this word now. I know it is done. I know it's the truth for each one of us. And I release it, I let it go, and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. And so, Marsha.
Good morning, everyone. Let's all come together and focus our attention on what our vision and mission statement is for CSL West Georgia. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. And our declaration of principles are, I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. There is one life of which I am a part, one intelligence which I use, and one substance which takes form as my life. And so it is. From Sandra, you muted.
Have a guest soloist this morning, all the way from Arizona. Yay! Cerise, and Cynthia is going to introduce her. Unmute yourself, Cynthia.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, everybody. It's a big pleasure to have my friend Cerise Patron, like the tequila, Patron, here with us this morning. She's an internationally recognized inspirational singer, songwriter, motivational speaker, and spiritual tour operator. She has produced 4 CDs of her music and is also for hire as a songwriter for individuals who desire to find a deeper inspiration to help them reach the next level of their dreams. She also writes for churches, organizations, companies, and retreats. Having a family connection in Peru, South America, she organizes, sings, and guides 12-day spiritual tours to Peru. And I'm going this summer. Reverend Sandra too. Okay, it's a great pleasure to have you, Cerise. Please take it away.
Thank you so much for having me here. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to start by singing a song that I did not write because it's one of my favorite non-written by me songs. And it's Daniel Nahmod's Get Ready, My Soul. So please connect with me as I interpret my version of it. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, into the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, and every dream I have ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing my life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Oh, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in deeper than I've ever been before. Here I come, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. I choose the sweetest kind of life. So get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
So much. Thank you. That just perfect for today too. Just absolutely perfect. Thank you, Cerise. Yes. Cynthia, ask her to come back. Oh boy, where do we go from here? Kathy is doing our reading today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and I hope everybody has a blessed day today and a blessed week. Today, I'm going to read. It's a pretty funny story. It's a pretty interesting story about a 9-year-old boy and his law of assumption. So this story is a story of a very unexpected result of an interview with a lady who came to consult me. One afternoon, a young grandmother, a businesswoman in New York, came to see me. She brought along her 9-year-old grandson, who was visiting her from his home in Pennsylvania. In response to her questions, I explained the law of assumption, describing in detail the procedure to be followed in attaining an objective. The boy sat quietly, apparently absorbed in a small toy truck, while I explained to the grandmother the method of assuming the state of consciousness that would be hers were her desire already fulfilled. I told her the story of the soldier in camp who each night fell asleep, imagining himself to be in his bed in his own home. When the boy and his grandmother were leaving, he looked up at me with great excitement and said, I know what I want, and I know what I want now. I know how to get it. Surprised, I asked him what it was he wanted. He told me he had his heart set on a puppy. To this, the grandmother vigorously protested, telling the boy that it had been made clear repeatedly that he could not have a dog under any circumstances, that his father and mother would not allow it. That young boy who was young to care for, they told him he was too young to care for it properly. And furthermore, the father had a deep dislike for dogs. He actually hated to have one around. All these were arguments the boy, passionately desirous of having a dog, refused to understand. Now, the funny part, he said he refused to understand. Now I know what I want to do, he said. Everything, every night, just as I'm going off to sleep, I am going to pretend that I have a dog, and we are going for a walk. No, said the grandmother, that is not what Mr. Neville means. This was not meant for you. You cannot have a dog. Approximately 6 weeks later, the grandmother told me what was an astonishing story. The boy's desire to own a dog was so intense that he had absorbed all that I told his grandmother of how to attain one's desire. And he believed it implicitly that is how he's going to get his dog. Putting this belief into practice for many nights, the boy imagined a dog was lying in his bed beside him. In imagination, he petted the dog, actually feeling his fur. Things like playing with the dog and taking it for a walk just filled his mind day after day. Within a few weeks, it happened. A newspaper in the city in which the boy lived organized a special program in connection with Kindness to Animals Week. All school children were requested to write an essay. Why would I like to have my own dog? After entries from all the schools were submitted and judged, the winner of the contest was announced. The very same boy who weeks before in my apartment in New York told me, now I know I have to get the dog, was the winner. An elaborate ceremony, which was publicized with stories and pictures in the newspaper. The boy was awarded a beautiful collie puppy. In relaying the story, the grandmother told me that if the boy had given the money, was given the money to buy the dog, the parents would not have bought the dog. They would have refused it and would have used it to buy the boy a bond and put it in his savings account. Furthermore, if someone had made the boy a gift of the dog, they would have refused it or even given the dog away. But the dramatic manner in which the boy got the dog, the way he won the city contest, the stories, and captured the news and in the newspaper, the pride of the achievement and the joy of the boy himself, all combined to bring about a heartfelt change in his parents. And they found themselves doing what they never expected to do or even never conceived possibly. They allowed him to keep the dog. All this, the grandmother explained to me. She concluded by saying that there was one particular kind of dog which the boy had his eyes set on, his heart set on, and it was a collie. Thank you, Reverend Sanders.
The boy got his collie.
The boy got his collie.
Oh my God. The mind of children has no objection to what goes on.
No objections whatsoever. That young man said, I'm gonna get my dog.
My dog. Yes, okay. I think we probably all had that expectation as children, except that we didn't always get it because we put our faith in Santa Claus, right? And instead of, like the boy, putting our faith in that invisible consciousness and just knowing that this is mine no matter what. So anyway, thank you, Kathy. That's great. That's great. Let that be an example. Today, this month, we're talking about being open to possibilities. And today we're talking about releasing and letting go. And so to begin, I have 3 stories I want to tell you, 3 of my own experiences. So they're all skiing experiences. I learned a lot by skiing. I was friends with someone years and years ago before I started skiing who just was a ski fanatic. He just thought skiing was the best thing ever. And, you know, I was like, why? What is so great about, he said, the freedom, okay, of skiing. I was like, I thought, well, I was living in New Jersey at the time. And when I moved back to California, somebody invited me to go ski. And I said, okay, great. It was a friend of the family and he was a ski instructor. Well, no, he did ski patrol. And ski patrol is a volunteer thing that people do. You know, like he was a doctor, his friend was a doctor. And so they volunteered to just be on the mountain and ski and, you know, help anybody who needed help. So anyway, Larry took my daughter Stacy and I up, you know, and we were at Squaw Valley. We went all the way up because, believe it or not, the beginner runs at Squaw Valley are at the top of the mountain. Okay, you have to take the thing clear up to the top. Okay, in order to get to the beginner baby runs. Okay, and I'm like, really? Can't you start down here? No, we had to go all the way up, and first time riding in one of those things and looking down and just like, okay. So I got up there and Larry, he's going to show us, Stacy and I, how to ski. He shows you how to start and how to stop. And after that, you were on your own. Okay. So anyway, we started and stopped. She got on a lot faster than I did. But the thing is that at some point, while I was there trying to struggle by myself, because they had all gone along and we were going to meet at lunchtime, him and his kids and my daughter, everybody went and left me, the real novice. And I am there, and all of a sudden, there was this feeling that came over me that the skis, which are, okay, they're longer than you are. Okay, they're taller than you are. They, instead of getting me the baby skis, they got me the ones that went with my height, which means they're like about 10 feet long, or at least that's the way it felt. They're hard to maneuver. Anyway, so I am on these skis, and all of a sudden, the boots, which were tight, the skis that were long and felt awkward, the sun, the snow, the mountain, everything became one. It was like there was no distinction between my skis, my boots, the mountain, the snow, the sun, the sky. It was all one. And I just stood there for a minute, just because I never consciously had that experience. And I will never forget it. There was just no division. It's hard to explain it. You almost have to have the experience in order to understand it. I can see people shaking their heads, so you've had that experience. There's just, everything disappears. There's no division at all. So that was my first experience. Then the next experience was when I was several times gone skiing, and I was on, I started getting ahead of myself, thinking I could go on a more advanced run that I was ready for. And so I'm on this more advanced run, and it's really, really, I mean, it's like really wide. It must have been a good 30 feet wide. Okay. The whole area, and everybody's getting off of the lifts and they're skiing down the hill. And I got like about not even a quarter of a way down. And for some reason or other, I lost control or whatever. Anyway, I fell. And when I fell, I was near the edge, because while the mountain was wide, there was this drop off on the other side that when you dropped, you could see the top of the trees. So if you could see the top of the trees, you know there's a long way down, right? Okay, so I am right on the edge of this thing, and all I could see in my mind and down there was this chasm, and I didn't know where it was going to, because it was all filled with snow. So I didn't know where it was going to stop, right? So I am sliding down this mountain screaming, no! And in my mind is this drop down. All I could see was the top of the trees and the dropping down. And it was like, I'm screaming. I lit up the whole mountain. And my friend who had gotten down below, she got down, she goes like, are you hurt? Are you hurt? Are you? I'm like, no, I'm not hurt, but I was laughing like you could not believe, because what had happened is that I realized in that moment that I had affirmed, I had took control over that situation. And I had said, no, I'm not going down there. I'm not falling. That was it. And all I had to say was no. Okay. And so that was my affirmation. And that was my experience. And it was like, I had this, now I knew unequivocally that my word had power. Okay. That was like, whew, okay. This is all during the time I'm studying science of mind, by the way. Okay. I was not a practitioner yet during all these experiences. So then the last one that I want to tell you about was, I was up at a different, these are all at different places, okay? They're not the same ski resorts. Anyway, the third ski resort, I was up high somewhere, and they had switchbacks. You know switchbacks? They go back and forth. So you have to make a left turn and then a right turn and a left turn and right turn. Well, I was very good at right turns, but not so good at left turns. And I got to this one place where it was real narrow. I stood there for at least a half an hour to 45 minutes. People kept going by me, and some people would ask, did I need help down? And I was like, no, I am getting down this. And I was very, very conscious that what was going on was that I was afraid. I could, instead of the other experience where I said no, and I'm not doing that, in this experience, I was so scared, I could not move. I was paralyzed. I stood there and stood there and stood there. And at some point, at first I was like, I realized I was scared. But then as I stood there, I realized, no, this is fear. This is what fear feels like. Fear will paralyze you. It will prevent you from moving forward in your life. And you need to deal with this fear right now. I mean, I was talking to myself like that. You need to deal, because I realized it wasn't just about getting down the mountain. It wasn't just about that one turn, because I could have got help. People would have helped me. I could have gotten down one, and once I got through one, I would probably been okay. But I was real conscious that fear was like a palatable thing. It was like something that had a reality of its own. And it was something that wasn't just something in that moment. It was like the oneness experience of all the fear of my life was in that moment. And I had to confront it, or I would be scared for the rest of my life. I have never, ever, since that time, I got down the hill. I did. I got down, but I realized, but not without realizing that there was something more going on than just getting down the mountain. I have never been that afraid ever in my life since. Even with all this pandemic stuff, I have never been that afraid. I've not been afraid of myself getting it. I've talked to people and everything, and I don't like to let people know that I'm not scared. Because people think you should be scared. You know, they think, oh, aren't you afraid of this pandemic? No, I am not. Okay, I could probably walk around without a mask and be fine, because I'm not afraid of it. The fear attracts stuff to you. Okay, and we have to learn to get through the fear and not allow it to stop us. Because what is fear? It is looking at a condition, something in the world and saying that thing is bigger than me. I can't pass through that thing. That thing is stopping me. And it's all a lie. And right now, people are going crazy with whether or not to wear a mask. And that's why some people are, are walking around. I have a neighbor who's walking around without a mask. You know what she tells, other people are going like, I'm not going near her because she's not wearing a mask. And I'm like, why is she not wearing a mask? Because you know what she says? I'm not going to get sick. Yeah, I mean, right? Okay. What's her belief system? She's not fair either, but she can't say to everybody, I put it on a mask because I don't want to deal with the people, looking at me funny and all that. And everybody in in the stores and stuff around here, they're all wearing masks. So and I don't want to create that in other people, but I'm not scared. I have not been scared one little minute. And so here's the thing. There is only one reality, and that's our consciousness. And so my first experience was about realizing that spirit as me. See, I was one with all of spirit, that spirit and I are one. And the second experience was this power, that I have the power to consciously express something in the world. I can create, I can co-create. And the third experience was the outside world has control over me, and I have to get control over it, or it will control my life. We are talking about being open to possibilities. That young boy in the story was open to the possibility of getting a dog, even though all the conditions around him said no. His mother said no, his father said no, his grandmother said no. And his father had feared to go along with it. I don't like dogs. I don't like dogs. I don't want anything to do with dogs. But the boy is like, oh yes, I am getting my collie. All right, I am going to live with this collie. And it didn't take him all that long to get it. And the world conformed to him. Get that? Other kids wrote stuff too. They wrote essays, and I don't know what, this is Neville talking probably in the 50s sometime, but kids nowadays, they go into contests like this all the time, and there's thousands sometimes. He had all these, even if he only had 100, his consciousness was such that he beat out all of those. His clarity of, this is my dog. And it turned out to be exactly the dog he wanted. Now, how do you make that understood in the world? You don't, unless you understand that it's about consciousness. Okay? We can't, he wasn't paralyzed with fear that his parents were going to say no. His parents conformed to his consciousness. And that's how the world works. It conforms to our consciousness. I like to look at words, and possible is, we're open to possibilities is our theme for the month. So I looked up what possibilities means, and possibility sends you, of course, to possible. And so the root of possible is, guess what? To be able. That's the Latin root. Roots are much better than just looking at the definition. I hope you know that. But anyway, possible, the Latin root is to be able. And then it says see potent, P-O-T-E-N-T. So the definition of possible is that can be capable of existing. That can be in the future. Okay? So look, the first one is that can be capable of existing. And the second one, that can be in the future. And that's what we tend to think about with possibilities, right? We tend to think of them as being in the future, not now. So then I looked up potent, and potent means the Latin root is to be able, similar, but it also has an Indo-European root, which is master, husband, okay? That's why husbands think they're masters, because this root, okay? Right, so, okay, and then the Sanskrit, I said think, I didn't say they were. Okay, and then Sanskrit, master, the word master means to be, and then it says see, master means, okay? No, I'm sorry, master plus to be, together, okay? Master to be. And then it says see essence. So the Sanskrit points you to the word essence. So, but the definition of potent is having the authority or power, mighty, influential, effective, powerful action. Okay. So then you go look up essence. And essence, the root of it is to be. And the definition is something that is or exists. It already exists. Entity. Number two, that which makes something what it is, intrinsic, fundamental nature, or most important quality of something, essential being. So let's take a look at that. The definition, the first definition is something that is or exists. So we take possibility, and get it down to its essence. What do we get? Something that is or exists. So whatever it is that you desire is possible because it already exists. Where does it exist? In the mind of God. It exists in the mind of God. And you are one with the mind of God. And so if it exists in the mind of God, it exists where? In your mind too. So all possibilities that you accept into your life, the possibilities of living without fear, the possibility of living with a sense of oneness and wholeness and capability in your life, all exist already as a possibility in you. It is already. It requires us to do what? Be conscious of it. Napoleon Hill said, if we can conceive it, believe it, we can achieve it. That is what he's talking about. That's essence. Do you see? He's telling you the steps. First, you have to conceive it. Why do you have to conceive it? Because you have to accept it. You have to get it from God. Ernest Holmes says, God is forever doing new things. God is forever doing new things. And the divine is projecting itself into creation. And you and I are that creation. Think about this. First, we have possibilities which in essence are already existing in the mind of God, and that you and I have but to catch the vision, catch the essence of what it is, see the possibility that already exists, and allow it to show up in our lives. Like the little boy. The boy said, you know what? This collie already exists. I'm going to live with this collie until it shows up in my life. I said, no, I am not going down that mountain and falling down into that snow. No, I am staying here until I deal with that fear, and I will never have to deal with this amount of fear again in my life. And I have never, ever been paralyzed by, I've had fear. I mean, we all have fear, but not the kind that paralyzes you, not the kind that says, I can't do that. Do you see? Somewhere there is a possibility. It's in our consciousness. Neville says consciousness is the one and only reality. It's the only reality. And if our consciousness is that we are fearful, then guess what? That's what we're going to be experiencing. So keep this in mind. Fear is a projection of negative faith. Fear is a projection of, we're instead of having the faith that I could make it down that mountain, I was going like, no. I am projecting that I'm going to have a problem. And that is what's pushing me. That's what's going ahead of me. Now, once you decide, you know what, I'm one with all of this, guess what? You get to do whatever it is you want. You get to choose. But you have to do what? You cannot be paralyzed by conditions. You have to release and let go of the past. You have to, get out of those beliefs that you've had that says I can or I can't. The thing is that it's not a matter of you can or can't. It's a matter of it's already there, and will you accept it? Will you step into it? Will you allow yourself to be empowered by the creative expression of God in, through, and as you? You and I are unique. We are one of a kind, and we have infinite possibilities. Those infinite possibilities already exist in the mind of God. And what Lily wants, Zizi doesn't want. And so therefore, they're going to get different things. I would never, ever want a collie. I'm not interested in having a collie. I have a Labradoodle, and I love my Labradoodle. Okay? I don't care for a collie. They're too much work, shedding too much hair. Okay? All right, but I love my Labradoodle. She has hair, not fur. Okay? So you see, we all live in different homes. We all drive different cars. We all enjoy different things. People feel like, you know what, if I open myself up and allow everybody to sit at the table, they're all going to want to eat what I eat. No, no. Okay. How many people don't like Mexican food? I have a cousin who all she likes is Italian food. And I'm not particular about Italian food. So when she comes to visit, we can't even go get Chinese because she doesn't like Chinese. But you know what? She's my cousin. I love her. So I go with her to have Italian food. And what do? Find something that's not Italian on the menu. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, we keep trying to squeeze everybody into the same little box. Like we have this box of finite stuff. And if I let go and let you in, then guess what? You're going to want some of my finite stuff. And it's like, no, I don't want any of that. I want my own little box of finite stuff. That's what life is. But we keep making it into something that it's not. We have to let go of all of this stuff. We have to let go. We have to release it. We have to let it go. We have to stop thinking that we have the only portion of the world and that everybody wants our little piece of it. Jesus said, truly, truly, anytime Jesus says truly, truly, okay, this is not a parable. This you can take literally, okay? Truly, truly, I say to you that the Son, you and I, can do nothing of his own accord, except what he sees the Father doing. For the things which the Father does, the same the Son does also. What is he saying? He's saying the same thing. There's infinite possibilities. And the thing is that you and I can only do what the Father has already done. Jesus is calling the Father as God. He's calling Spirit Father, because that's how he likes to say it. You may not like to say Father, but the point is that whatever is your desire. It already exists in possibility. And last week we were talking about community and creating the community that we are as CSL West Georgia already exists in the mind of God. And all we are doing is catching the vision of it and making it larger, making it more inclusive, giving it legs and serviceability and more love and a sense of belonging and compassion. We are giving it life in a way that it has not had before. It's all possible. It already exists, or we would not even be thinking about it. Do you realize that? God is always constantly in creation. It is constantly creating. And we sit around having the same thing happening day after day after day after day, because why? We won't release and let go of what we had in order to open ourselves to the possibility, the vision of what we could have if we will only be willing to step out on faith, get off of fear mountain, and feel the oneness and the wholeness and the truth of who we are. And so I have something for us. And we're going to, Marsha's going to cue it up right now. And what we're going to do is I have something for us to work on together as a community so that we have it is nothing specific, okay? But each one of us gets to contribute our own self to it. So I'm going to read it out loud and you can read along with me. And so it's our project called Co-Creating Community of Belonging, CSL West Georgia. The community of belonging. I want you to capture the vision of what's possible. Ernest Holmes said, God is forever doing new things. And when we conceive new ideas, it is an act of the divine projecting itself into creation. And Peter Block, from his book on community, says, community offers the promise of belonging and calls for us to acknowledge our interdependence. To belong is to act as an investor, an owner, and creator of this place. And so this is what I invite you to do, is go back one. Okay, the next one. After that, this one. Okay, stepping out is these are our affirmations. And what we're going to do is send these to you so that you can, if you're willing, repeat them like the boy did. Okay? Stepping out in faith and with awareness that God is source, I affirm and declare the Center for Spiritual Living West Georgia is a vibrant, energetic, prosperous spiritual community. We are a welcoming, inclusive community where everyone belongs. I, like all community members, are investors, owners, and co-creators of our community. We serve and we are served. Next. Today, I choose to be a co-creator of our spiritual community. My choice is made with clarity, and I am committed to participate to the fullest extent of my ability with love, enthusiasm, and joy. I am grateful to be embraced by this loving community. Our perfect location to gather for services, classes, activities, and events is already known in the mind of God. Therefore, I am open and receptive to the revelation of it. When we see it, we know it. We recognize it as our place. Everything needed and necessary for its complete physical, mental, and financial support is readily available in perfect time and in perfect order. Through my participation and declaration as a co-creator of my community, I am also prospered. I am prospered in health and well-being. I am prospered in all my relationships and feel a greater sense of belonging in all areas of my life. I am financially prospered, for I have opened the doors of giving and gratitude and created new avenues for God's grace to flow to me individually and to my community collectively. If we were in person, I would have printed all this out and we would handed it out to you, but we can't do that right now. So it's going to come to you as an email. I hope you'll open it up. And you can either leave it on your computer or your phone or whatever, or you can print it out. Feel free to make changes so that it fits you perfectly. If you don't like some word and it's uncomfortable for you to put God in there, then change it and make spirit or whatever you want to, but make it your own. You can either accept it as it is or make it your own. But I invite you to begin affirming it for us, because it'll make Dorothea's job much easier. It'll make our board's job much easier. It'll make all of our jobs much easier if we are what? If we are all aligning ourselves with the realization, like the boy, that our place already exists and we are coming together collectively in order to have a consciousness that allows it to show up in form. Now, if I was looking for my own house by myself, it wouldn't take me very long. Why? Because it's only me. I only have to serve my purposes. But we're looking for something for a community for all of us. So as we, each one of us, even if we're at a distance, okay, if each one of us is coming in alignment with this idea that we have a spiritual home, then Lily's idea and Sandy's idea and Gloria's idea and Abe's idea and even Cerise's idea, if she's willing to work with us, all of ideas come together and it will show up in a form that God says, you know what, this is right for all of you. This is right for all of you. And for those of us who are saying, well, I don't choose to participate, then you get to experience what the rest of us choose to have. Okay, that's how it works. That's how it works. You see? You didn't have any say about how the Target got put together at your store. They remodeled the Target across the street from me. They got stuff all over the place that I had no say of where they put it. And it's not where I want it to be. Okay? Why? Because it's not my consciousness that created it. Okay? It's somebody else's consciousness. And they put in it what they wanted. And so therefore, you get to participate in. And when you walk into the place, you go like, wow, I helped to create this. All right? I helped to do this. And I like the color of those walls because I got to choose. I got to help with that. My consciousness went into everything that we have here. So choose to be a part, or choose to let everybody else choose for you. It's okay. I mean, you can have a Target. It's fine. I'm fine. I don't care. I don't say that's the wrong words. I do care. I do care. But at the same time, I can't force you. I can't make you decide that you want to participate. You have to choose. And that's what it says in there. Choose. I choose. But here's the thing. If you choose to create the abundance for the allness, how is that abundance created? On the shoulders of each and every one of us, through the consciousness of each one of us. So in lifting up the community, you're lifting up yourself. And that's why that last affirmation says that you too are prospered. Okay. Choose today. Truly, truly, I say to you that the Son can do nothing of his own accord except what he sees the Father doing. For the things which the Father does, the same the Son does also. And with that, let us close our eyes and turn within. And it is with gratitude today that I Speak this word. It is with gratitude that I know that all things right here and right now are working together for our entire community, those who are here and visible and those who are beyond our vision in this moment. I am knowing that there is something great and wonderful and magnificent that is occurring in each one of our lives, and it's coming together as we come together as a loving community where everyone belongs. I am speaking my word and know that there is a joy, there is an enthusiasm, there is a deep feeling of love that is bringing us together and lifting us up and allowing ourselves to be co-creators with the infinite presence of God in us and through us and as us. We are a blessing and we are blessed. And for this, we are truly thankful. With open hearts and minds and with a vision that is beyond anything that we have experienced in the past. We are creating a community that no one has ever seen before. Because why? It is because we are the ones who were creating it. And so it will constantly, it will be unique, it will be creative, it will be loving, it will be compassionate, it will be a place where people come and feel welcomed and feel included. Each one of us is a co-creator of this new community, the one that already exists and is simply being revealed through our conscious realization of it. We open our hearts and minds now to allow God to move in us and through us and as us in a perfect way. And so we rejoice in this moment, knowing it is done. So with gratitude and thanksgiving, with so much joy, so much love, and so much gratitude, I release this word now, knowing it is done, knowing that each one of us lives in the peace of God, in the prosperity and the joy and the abundance of God as a result of the work that we do together. And so it is. Amen. Cerise.
Oh, thank you for that amazing message. The next song I'm going to sing is one I wrote, and it is about stepping out of fear, stepping away from fear and rising up above the ways of the world below us. This is called Rising Up. The fear kept me down for too long, afraid to take a step, scared of being wrong. Oh, but every leap of faith led me right where I belong. So I'm ready, and I'm rising up. With my wings spread, I'm opening up. I am here for a grand adventure, ready to show up. So I am rising up, stepping into the place I fear most. Darkness all around, braving the unknown. And where I'll go next, Spirit only knows. But I'm ready, so I'm rising up. With my wings spread, I'm opening up. Oh, I am here for a grand adventure, ready to show up. So I am rising up. And like a web of love, I spread my light. As I own my life, the fire ignites the world. together we're rising up. With our wings spread, we're opening up. Oh, we are here for a grand adventure, ready to show up. Yes, we are rising, rising up. And together we're rising up. Oh, we are rising, rising up.
Thank you. Yes, so perfect. Such perfect songs for today. That's great. And she has a CD too.
She has 4 CDs,
Okay.
and Marcia has put the website up so that you can buy some CDs and have Cerise's beautiful spirit and voice with you at all times. I certainly enjoy mine. And don't forget about her spiritual tour to Peru.
Yeah, we don't want to forget that. I've been wanting to go. Do you go to Machu Picchu? All right, I'm on. As soon as we can travel again.
Me too.
Get those passports ready, people. Because we will make it a group tour, okay? All right. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Marcia, conscious giving time.
Yes, conscious giving time. And just to add, at the I finally remembered to put all of the links before I changed the screen. At the very bottom of that is Cerise has 2 websites, and hopefully, Cerise, you don't mind. I looked on Facebook and I got your Facebook profile as well. So definitely support her in her ministry of spreading truth to everyone. Well, it is conscious giving time. And so it is always my distinct pleasure to explain to you guys the different ways that you can support CSL West Georgia. Currently, we have 3 ways to give. We right now use PayPal. If you would like to send your donation electronically. If you feel more comfortable with mailing a check, there's an address there. It's also in the chat window, and it also is at the end of each newsletter. And I've always liked to say that if you're an Amazon shopper, if you have not connected with us, what are you waiting for? Amazon has a charitable giving program called Amazon Smile, and we are registered with them. All you need to do is click the link that's in the chat window and just say, yes, Amazon, CSL West Georgia is my charity that I would like for you to donate to when I make a purchase. So, and just always like to remind you that with PayPal, if you would like to make things a little more automated, once you've made your payment, if you want to make it a monthly donation, you can have them just remember to do things for you. So let's all come together and offer our affirmation. I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, my community, and my world. And so it is. You're muted.
Thank you, Marcia. Yes, gotta do that. Announcements. Tomorrow at 7:30, we're going to have a grief support group. So if you would like to join us, please do. It's 7:30 Eastern time. And I didn't put an end time to it. So it could last an hour, 2 hours, depends on, what people have a need for. If you have someone in your life who seems to have a reason for grief or seems not to have a reason for grief. See, here's the thing about grief. We may not have anything that is affecting us, personally right away, but we are coming up next month on the anniversary of someone who's passed away. We will sometimes start feeling grief before that. or after that. If you find yourself feeling agitated or angry or sad, you know, at certain times of the year or just in general, um, come and be a part of our grief support group. At least you'll find out a little bit about what it's about and what you can do about it. And it's about being of service. So and you can invite anybody that you want to. You don't have to. They don't have to be a CSL member. It's not going to be, you know, Ernest Holmes said this. You know, it's going to be more experiential. Okay. So please do come. It's in your email for today's workshop. If you scroll down, read through all that stuff I put in there. I spend a lot of time working on that email. Okay. And go down and list and see what it says about the grief workshop, and then click the link tomorrow at 7:30. The board meeting is this afternoon after service today. And everybody's invited to participate if you would like to. Then we have foundation classes coming up in 2 weeks. It starts on March 28th. Please do, if you're planning to register for that class, please don't wait until the 27th to do that. Okay. It's just nice to have so the teacher knows that, you're coming. Okay. All right. We know in advance a little, so if even if you're thinking about it, then sign up for it and come to the first class and then see if it's for you. Okay. Give it a try. And let's see, Lily, where are you? Is Lily still here? Okay, Lily, do you want to say something about foundation class for us? You got to unmute. You're muted. Still muted.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. Yes. The Foundations of the Science of Mind class was really for me and for the other participants in the class. It was very informative, and it was very powerful. The reason that I decided to take the class because I'm basically I am new to the science of mind principles. I had been a member of the Unity Church for like, oh my goodness, maybe 25, 30 years. And when I relocated here from New Orleans, I was attending the Unity in I think it was Dunwoody in that area, in Sandy Springs area. And then when I moved out here to Villa Rica, it was kind of too far. So I was just kind of like, but I met a friend at the gym here in Villa Rica, and she was attending the center. And so Rolene Reyes, and that's how I was introduced to the science of mind. And I embraced it because it's not to me, it wasn't too far, there's a difference between, the Unity teaching principles and science of mind, but they're kind of like, related, in a way. So it was, a little bit easier for me to accept the science of mind teachings because of Unity. And so to make a long story short, I don't want to ramble, I was just interested in learning about the principles and learning about, the history, of the science of mind. And the thing that I really got from taking the class was how the creative process works. And if you work it works. And it does not have to be major things. It can be just, I used to believe, well, it had to, like if I wanted a house or something like that, but it's just like now I know I can plant the seed and use the creative process for anything, and And that is, to me, that a lot of that has to do with faith, you know, and it really did, the creative process really made me realize that even though I thought I didn't have a lot of faith, instead of having, you know, instead of having the faith of, you know, in God, I learned I had the faith of God. And for me, that was really, really, you know, a blessing for me. So I would, you know, say that, you know, even if you've been in the science of mind, you know, for, you know, years and years, or, you know, you're just a newcomer, you know, I know that you will bring a lot to the class, and you will get a lot from the class.
Good. Thank you, Lily. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, so that's our service for today. Good job. That's our service for today, and let's just acknowledge Cerise for being with us and bringing us such a beautiful, beautiful music today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes, please do come again. Yes, and the board meeting starts. It is 12:26. Let's do 10 minutes, okay? And we'll start back at 12:35, 36, something like that. Okay, and for those of you who are leaving us, Marcia has a song for you to go with and an affirmation. Yes.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day,
Was it still playing?
So everybody's volume went down, right?
Yeah, I think the video, something happened when I downloaded it. So
Okay, anyway. Well, you all know that song.
yeah. You can go sing it. I really
let go.
let
I
go.
let the spirit
Let
run
the
my life.
spirit run my life.
And my heart is open wide, 'cause I'm only here for God. All right, let's do our affirmation. Go online and listen. Just go to YouTube and play it. All right. Okay, we go forth today, knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good goes from us and only good comes to us. And so it is. Amen. Amen. All right, everybody, have a great day. See you all in the board meeting shortly. All right.